After our family reunion, I checked my account. It was drained. My BIL snorted. We needed it more. 40 guests, 7 cabins, 1 broke teacher footing the bill. $21,300. 2 years of late-night Uber rides, gone in a single login. I paid for the brisket he bragged about, the fireworks he filmed like a hero. Then he stole my future and laughed like it was charity. I didn't scream. I documented. Every Venmo, every fake apology. Tonight's the family Zoom. And when I click share screen, the lies end, and someone's going down. Hello everyone. Welcome to your channel, Panda Tales. Before we dive into today's story, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more true stories. Let's get into it. They say family doesn't owe you anything, but I gave them everything before they ever had to ask. I'm Marcus, 29, 4th grade teacher by day, Uber driver by night. No wife, no kids, no safety net, just a dream, a condo on the edge of Houston, with enough sunlight and silence to finally hear myself think. I had saved every extra dime for 2 years. $21,300. That number used to mean freedom. Now it makes my chest tighten. I didn't plan on being the family ATM, but when you're the dependable one, the one who doesn't complain, it just happens. Little by little. Gas money here. Rental deposit there. Babysitting for free. Designing flyers. Organizing potlucks. And when my sister Tiffany said, "Let's do a real family reunion this year, big, Texas style," somehow I became the planner, the chef, the accountant, the punching bag. I should have said no. God, I should have said no. But I didn't. I said, "Sure, let me run the numbers." That was mistake number 1. Tiffany wanted a 3-day lakeside thing outside Austin. Cabins, barbecue, fireworks, family games, something we'll remember forever. I booked 6 Airbnbs. I coordinated 40 people's arrivals. I prepaid for catering deposits. I even rented out a pontoon boat for the Saturday. It was going to cost about $9,000 total, but she swore everyone would pay their share. I put it on my credit card, just temporarily, I told myself. I made a spreadsheet and everything. Spoiler, I was the only one who used it. The week before the reunion, I was working 16-hour days, teaching summer school until 3 p.m., then picking up rides until midnight. I ate peanut butter sandwiches in my car and brushed my teeth in gas station bathrooms. But still, I smiled through the exhaustion. Just one more week, I told myself. Then it's family, food, fun, and finally, a break. It started off nice. I won't lie. Everyone showed up Friday night. Hugs, loud laughter, folding chairs in circles. The kids made s'mores while the uncles played dominoes. People kept calling me Mr. President or Marcus the manager. Derek, Tiffany's husband, said, "You ballin' now, huh? 2 jobs, and still got time to throw this bash." I laughed. Awkwardly. Something about his tone didn't sit right. He kept hovering around the kitchen, watching me open my laptop to double-check the catering invoice. "You use that for work?" he asked. "Nah, just budgeting stuff," I said. He grinned. "Man, I need to get like you." I brushed it off. I was used to those little jabs from him. He never liked that I had a degree, or that I didn't need help. He once called me a suburban gentrifier at Thanksgiving just because I wanted to buy property. Saturday morning, the ribs went on the smoker at 7 a.m. By noon. I was flipping burgers, refilling coolers, passing out sparklers. Tiffany was coordinating, aka taking selfies and directing people to group photos. I didn't eat until 4:30. My shirt was soaked through. I'd slept 3 hours. Around dusk, Derek asked me if I could resend the Airbnb code. "Just want to double check the checkout time," he said. I texted it to him. Didn't even think twice. That night, I saw him typing something into my laptop while I was wiping down the grill. "Hey," I said, walking over. He looked up, cool as hell. "Just looking up traffic. We're hitting the road early tomorrow." I nodded. He smiled. Nothing about it felt wrong. But it was. And I didn't know it yet. But in that moment, while I scraped barbecue sauce off a tin tray and my back ached from carrying everyone's joy, he was already slicing into my future. 2 years of savings. Gone. But I didn't know that yet. Not then. Not while I was still cutting watermelon and pouring juice boxes. Not while I was still smiling, thinking family meant protection. Because by Sunday night, Derek had everything he needed. My trust, my bank info, my login credentials. And all I had left was a full trash bag, an empty fridge, and a lie waiting to explode. Monday morning hit like a brick. My back still hurt from lifting coolers and packing trash bags. I drove the last cousin to the bus stop, came home, dropped onto the couch, and just exhaled. I told myself the reunion was a success. No fights, no disasters. People laughed. My uncle said it reminded him of the good old days before Grandma passed. But even as I scrolled through pictures, something in my chest tightened. Not sadness, not pride, something else. Like my brain was trying to whisper something my heart wasn't ready to hear. I ignored it. I pulled out my notebook, the one where I tracked every payment. Airbnb, $2,900. Catering, $3,100. Firework rental, $850. Gas for pickups, $190. Snacks, games, extra toilet paper, cleaning supplies, another $400 easy. But nobody had sent a dime. I texted Tiffany. Me. Hey, any updates on the family shares? Tiffany. LOL, relax. People just got home. I'll remind them. Me. Okay. Just checking. CC bills due soon. Tiffany. Okay, bookkeeper face with tears of joy. I stared at her response. That emoji stung more than it should have. 2 hours later, I got a text from my bank. Chase alert. Your account ending in 4031 has a balance of $0. I blinked. Refresh. Refresh again. 0. I checked the transactions. 2 large transfers. Not charges. Not payments. Transfers. Both routed to a secondary account. Same bank. Different number. I felt the room tip sideways. I opened my laptop. Signed in. Same results. Gone. $21,300. I felt my hands go numb. I tried calling the bank, heart pounding in my ears. They confirmed the transfer was made securely from my account with password access. Was it you? The agent asked. No, I croaked. Well, the login came from a Texas IP address. Do you live near Austin? Yes. That's where the reunion was. My stomach dropped. I said I'd follow up in writing. Hung up. I was shaking. I opened my messages and texted Tiffany again. Me. Someone drained my account. While we were at the lake. Tiffany. Wait, what? OMG, what do you mean? Me. Over $21,000 transferred out. Someone had my login. Tiffany. Who would do that? Me. I don't know. But this happened right after the reunion. No reply. For hours. Finally, Derek texted me directly. Derek. Yo, heard you freaking out. Me. Did you use my laptop? Derek. I looked up traffic, that's it. Chill. Me. My whole savings is gone. You were the only one using it besides me. Derek. Man, you need to relax. We needed it more. I froze. We needed it more. Just like that. No apology. No denial. Just a statement, like he borrowed some ketchup. I reread the message 5 times. I couldn't breathe. I called him. No answer. I called again. Straight to voicemail. I called Tiffany. She answered on the 3rd ring. Voice already defensive. Marcus, this is being blown out of proportion. He admitted it, I said. He said, we needed it more. You know what that means, right? He didn't mean it like that. What did he mean then? Explain it to me. Silence. Then, you're being dramatic. You've always been so sensitive. I felt something crack in me. Not anger. Not sadness. Just a clean break. Like a curtain tearing. He stole from me, Tiff. He stole my dream. And you're covering for him. Marcus, she sighed. You live alone. No kids. You don't need all that money. That's when I knew. This wasn't just Derek. This was them. All of them. I opened our family group chat. I never checked it much. Too many memes and prayer hands. But I scrolled back through the reunion weekend. Derek had posted a photo of the grill, captioned, Chef Marcus ballin' on a teacher salary. Laugh reacts. Cry laugh emojis. Tiffany had added, guess we know where to go when we need a loan. 40 likes. I felt like throwing my phone. I'd spent the weekend chopping onions with tears in my eyes, thinking they were from the smoke. But it wasn't smoke. It was betrayal. And now? Now I was on my own. But I wasn't done. Not by a long shot. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat on my couch, laptop on my knees, replaying everything. The lake, the ribs, the laughs, the way Derek kept hanging around my stuff like he belonged there. I kept thinking, what did I miss? How did I let this happen? By morning, the shame had boiled into something else. I was done being quiet. First thing, I emailed Chase's fraud department again, this time attaching screenshots of Derek's text. We needed it more. I also added a short note. Unauthorized access. Known suspect. Investigating further. Next, I dug into my laptop. System logs, browser history, Wi-Fi usage. I'd never done this before. I teach 4th grade, not digital forensics, but desperation makes you resourceful. Under Chrome history, I found it. Saturday night, 10:47 p.m. Chase.com login. Forgot password. Email verification recovery. My jaw tightened. I checked the IP address from my browser. Matched it with the one the bank agent gave me the day before. It lined up. Then I went to downloads. PDF files I didn't recognize. One of them was a saved bank statement with my full account number, downloaded at 10:52 p.m. The file name? Marcus Chase July.pdf. I hadn't touched that file. I'd never downloaded it. He used my laptop. He used my name, my Wi-Fi, my saved browser logins. I didn't even know how much I'd left exposed until I saw the timestamp. It was while I was refilling the ice chest. 10 minutes. That's all it took to erase 2 years. I screen recorded everything, then exported my history log to a separate flash drive. I was going to the police, but first, I wanted one more piece. The cabin's security camera. I remembered one of the Airbnb hosts mentioned there was a motion cam facing the porch. I pulled up the reservation email, found the host's name, and wrote, "Hi, I recently stayed at your cabin and may have had an issue with property misuse. Can you share footage from Saturday night, July 15th, between 10:30 and 11:15 p.m.? This is potentially part of a fraud investigation. Thank you." It was a shot in the dark, but it was worth trying. Meanwhile, I called a friend from college, Jesse, who'd gone into cybersecurity and now freelanced for a PI firm in Dallas. "How fast can you trace a bank login?" I asked him. Jesse didn't even blink. "Give me the logs. I'll tell you what coffee brand your thief drinks." I emailed everything. He replied 30 minutes later. "Whoever did this used saved browser data, plus your Wi-Fi IP, plus a mobile verification text. It's someone who had access to your laptop and your phone, or at least saw it unlocked. Did you leave your phone unattended?" I had. For maybe 20 minutes, while I was helping a kid with sparklers and Derek said he'd watch the grill. I texted Jesse. Could they've mirrored it? He sent back, 100%. If they saw your unlock code once, they could install an SMS mirror app, especially if it was a Samsung. Happens all the time. My stomach turned. I looked at my phone, suddenly feeling violated just holding it. How many messages had he read? How much of me had he stolen that weekend? And still, silence from Tiffany. No apology. No explanation. No offer to help. I wanted to believe she was being manipulated, that Derek had lied to her. But deep down, I knew. She knew. The next morning, Jesse called me back. "I ran some metadata," he said. "Those PDFs, they were saved under an Adobe account that traces back to an email ending in @DeAndre94. Does that name ring a bell?" My mouth went dry. DeAndre94 was Derek's old username. From high school. From Facebook. The arrogance. He'd used my info, my computer, and still tagged the file with his handle like it was a mixtape. "You need to go to the police," Jesse said. "Now. And keep that flash drive on you like it's a kidney." I made the appointment for noon. But before that, I sent one final message to my sister. "Last chance. Tell me the truth, or I go public." She read it. No reply. 5 minutes later, I got a text from my cousin Darius, one of the few people I still trusted. "Yo, Marcus. I think Tiff and Derek are trying to flip this on you. Just saw a message in the family chat. You better check it." I opened the group chat. Scrolled down. Derek had posted a screenshot of one of my rideshare deposits from Uber. Captioned, "Must be nice pulling 2 jobs while we're just trying to feed our kids. Guess Marcus forgot what family means." Laugh reacts. Thumbs up. Fire emoji. I wanted to scream. Instead, I took a deep breath, opened my calendar, and typed into the next open time slot. File police report. And then right after, request family Zoom. I wasn't going to beg. I wasn't going to cry. I was going to destroy the illusion they built, one screen share at a time. I walked into the precinct with the flash drive in my pocket and betrayal in my throat. There's something humiliating about having to explain your own family's crimes to a stranger in uniform. But Officer Ramirez was calm, respectful. She took notes, watched the videos, asked the right questions. "You said he admitted it?" "Yes." In a text. "Here." I handed over my phone. She read it twice. "We needed it more." "And your sister?" Defended him. Mocked me in a group chat afterward. She clicked her pen shut. "We'll start a report." This qualifies as wire fraud and identity theft. We'll need to open a case. I nodded. Before I left, she looked at me, almost gently. It's always the people closest to us, she said. That's what makes it hurt more. I sat in my car for 10 minutes before I could even start the engine. This was real now. Legal. Criminal. And deep down, a part of me wondered if I'd crossed some invisible line from victim to enemy. Back at home, I called the Airbnb host again. She'd responded. Hi, Marcus. Yes, we do have porch footage. It's stored via Nest for 14 days. Can you confirm exact time and describe the person? I replied instantly. Yes. Around 10:45 p.m. Saturday. Black male, 30s, gold chain, Nike slides. Opening a silver MacBook with Teach Love sticker. Sitting on left side deck. 3 hours later, I had the video. There he was. Derek. Feet up. Laptop open. Phone in hand. Tapping. Scrolling. Smirking. He even sipped from the soda I'd bought him. I saved the clip. Sent it to Officer Ramirez. And then, for the first time, I allowed myself to feel something other than rage. Grief. Not over the money, but over the years. Over every ride I gave him. Every dinner I covered. Every time I told people, Derek just needs a break. Because this wasn't just theft. It was a message. You were never family. You were just useful. That night, I got a call from Tiffany. I almost didn't answer. But curiosity won. You filed a report? She snapped. Yes. You really gonna have Derek arrested over money? He stole from me. We have kids, Marcus. And I had a dream. A home. A life I was building. He destroyed it. She was silent for a beat. Then, you're selfish. I laughed. Sharp. Bitter. No, Tiff. I've just stopped sacrificing myself for people who see me as a wallet. You always loved playing the victim. And you always loved protecting criminals. Her voice rose. He's your brother-in-law. He's a fraud. Silence again. Fine, she said coldly. But if you go public with this, you'll regret it. Mom already said you're turning this into a circus. Good, I said. Maybe the whole circus should burn. Then I hung up. My heart was racing, but something in me felt clearer than it had in weeks. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't imagining it. They knew. And now, they were scared. I spent the next 2 days gathering everything. Flash drive 1, browser logs. Flash drive 2, Airbnb porch video. Folder, printouts of text messages. Screen captures, group chat mockery. Bank logs, transaction trail, IP match. USB backup, statement metadata, Jesse's trace. I labeled it all. Theft case, Derek James Harris. Then I scheduled a Zoom. Family check-in, I called it. No one responded for hours. Then, slowly, they began to confirm. Derek joined first, smirking, cocky. Tiffany came in next, eyes cold, fake smile locked in. Then Aunt Rochelle, Cousin Kim, Uncle Lionel. I waited for 5 minutes. Then turned on screen share. This isn't a check-in, I said calmly. This is an exposure. They laughed at first, until I played the video. The porch footage. The login history. The file metadata with Derek's username. The bank trail. Derek's smirk disappeared. Tiffany muted herself. I let the silence hold. Then I showed Derek's text. The one that broke me. We needed it more. You stole from me, I said quietly. And now the police are involved. Someone gasped. Aunt Rochelle tried to jump in. Marcus, maybe we should just handle this privately. No, you had your chance. And instead, you joined in mocking me. I turned off screen share. From this point on, every conversation goes through legal counsel. Then I logged off. My hands were shaking, but my soul, solid. The next morning, I woke up to 13 missed calls and a Facebook inbox full of rage. You ruined a family. You embarrassed your sister in front of everybody. Uncle Lionel said you've always been jealous of Derek. You brought the law into blood. And then my uncle himself, through voice message. Marcus, you just set fire to a bridge you can't rebuild. Congratulations, Judas. I deleted every message. Every voicemail. I wasn't backing down. This wasn't about a grudge. This was about a crime. And finally, someone outside the family saw it that way too. The detective called me. Marcus Stevens? Yes. This is Detective Shelby from Financial Crimes. I've reviewed your file. We believe you have a credible identity theft and wire fraud case. I exhaled so hard, my chest ached. What happens next? We've submitted a subpoena for Derek Harris's devices and accounts. We'll be working with your bank and the hosting platforms. We'd like you to come in and officially sign your statement. When? Tomorrow morning. I hung up and stood still in my kitchen for a long moment. Justice had left the starting line. And Derek? He was unraveling. Jesse sent me screenshots from public posts Derek had made, trying to rally people to his side. When you're black in America, and even your own people turn you in for surviving. One post had 300 likes. But the comments? Brutal. Stealing $20,000 from your own family ain't survival, bro. Post the receipts, Derek. Oh wait, Marcus already did. You really hacked a teacher's savings? Low even for you. I didn't reply. Didn't need to. Truth had a mouth now. And it was loud. But Tiffany? She wasn't done. She showed up at my door. Unannounced. Eyes puffy. No makeup. Shaking like she hadn't slept in days. Can we talk? I didn't want to. But I opened the door. She stepped in slowly, clutching her phone like a shield. You didn't have to go public, she said, voice trembling. You didn't have to stay silent. He's the father of my kids, Marcus. And I'm your brother. She didn't speak. Then I asked, did you know what he was doing? Her lips parted, then closed. And that was my answer. Jesse thinks he cloned my phone during the trip. I said, you knew he had it unlocked. Still nothing. Tiff, was this a plan? She finally whispered. We were supposed to just borrow it. I blinked. Borrow 21 grand. He said we'd pay it back. He was applying for the PPP loan and... You mean the one he got denied for twice? Her face fell. He said you wouldn't miss it. It took me 2 years to save that. She looked down. I didn't know it would go this far. No, I snapped. You just hoped it wouldn't. She started crying. And for a moment, I almost softened. But then I remembered the group chat. The laughing emojis. The silence. The betrayal. You need to leave, I said. Marcus, please. If you care about me at all, walk out before this becomes something we can't come back from. She hesitated, then left. I locked the door behind her and leaned against it. Not angry. Empty. That night, Jesse messaged again. You sitting down? I replied. Should I be? He sent me a file. A dummy Gmail account linked to Derek's device. It had 2 folders. One called Receipts, and another, Plan B. In Plan B, there was a full list of family contacts. Names. Birthdays. Bank names. Guess and check passwords. He was running a scam, Jesse said. You weren't the first. You were just the biggest jackpot. I sat there in silence. The truth wasn't just betrayal, it was targeting. I forwarded everything to Detective Shelby. Then, I did something I hadn't done in weeks. I opened Zillow and searched for condos. Because even if justice was slow, I was still going to build the life they tried to steal. I didn't plan on seeing Derek again. But karma's schedule doesn't check with yours. It was 3:42 p.m. I was grading papers at the kitchen table, sipping old coffee, when my phone lit up. Service complete. Defendant was served in person at 3:36 p.m. I stared at the notification like it was a movie credit roll. Derek had been served. Civil suit filed. Criminal charges pending. And now, paperwork with his name on it, in his hands. I imagined his smirk folding into a scowl. Jesse messaged 3 minutes later. Bro, he posted a 7-minute rant on IG Live. Crying. Said he was ambushed. I didn't watch it. I didn't need to. People like Derek always collapse in front of cameras. Tears are cheaper than accountability. But the fallout? That came fast. At 6:12 p.m., Aunt Rochelle called. First time in weeks. Marcus, I didn't know the full story. You saw the screenshots. I thought it was exaggerated. But Derek just called me screaming. Now I know. I didn't respond. We want to talk to you, she continued. Me, Kim, even Lionel. We didn't know how deep this went. You knew enough to stay quiet. She sighed. But we didn't know enough to pick the right side. There shouldn't have been sides. Silence. Can we meet? I agreed, cautiously. We picked a diner. Sunday. Public. Neutral ground. But before that, something else happened. Detective Shelby called again. We're close to formal charges, she said. But we also uncovered a second fraud trail. What? Derek used your name to apply for a credit card. 2 months before the reunion. My throat dried. Was it approved? No. Flagged for suspicious info. But it's added to the list. I took a breath. 2 months before the reunion. So it wasn't spontaneous. He'd been planning this. Targeting me. Studying me. Setting me up. Can I add that to the civil case? Yes. and the ADA might escalate this to felony theft. I hung up and sat there, letting it sink in. This wasn't just betrayal. It was predation. Sunday came. The diner was cold, loud, and smelled like grease and regret. Aunt Rochelle slid into the booth first. Kim followed. Uncle Lionel brought coffee, but didn't say a word. I sat across, arms folded. We were wrong, Rochelle said immediately. We shouldn't have doubted you. Kim nodded. Tiffany told us it wasn't as bad as you made it sound. But now we know she was covering for him. She was complicit. Lionel finally spoke. We raised her better. You also raised Derek, I said sharply. They didn't argue. Then Rochelle pulled something from her purse. A check. It's not the full amount, she said. But it's a start. We want to help with legal fees. I stared at it. $2,500. Blood money. Guilt wrapped in generosity. I took it. Quietly. Not because I forgave them, but because every dollar helped bury Derek deeper. We also spoke to your mom, Kim added. My stomach tightened. She's still on Derek's side? She's conflicted, but she's scared now. I nodded. Good. Then I stood up. I'm not rebuilding bridges, I told them. But I'm glad you're not pretending anymore. They nodded too. We didn't hug. Later that night, I got a message. From a name I hadn't seen in a while. Tiffany. I just want to say I'm sorry. I was stupid. I didn't protect you. I didn't stop him. I don't expect you to forgive me. But I had to say it. I stared at the text. For a long time. Then typed. Thank you for saying it. But I didn't send it. Because some things deserve silence. The next morning, I walked into my school. One of my fifth graders handed me a drawing. Me, in a cape, holding a shield, smiling. You look like a superhero, he said. I almost laughed. Not yet, I replied. But I was getting there. Court smelled like dust and panic. I sat in the hallway, fingers wrapped around a warm paper coffee cup, reading the name Marcus Stevens v. Derek Harris on the docket list again and again. He showed up 9 minutes late. Cheap suit, unshaven, still trying to look untouchable. But he looked small. Even his lawyer kept glancing at him like he was radioactive. He avoided my eyes. I didn't flinch. We were called in. Small courtroom, just the bailiff, judge, stenographer, and 3 family members in the back, Jesse, Kim, and Uncle Lionel. My lawyer, Mr. Prentice, stood with me. Calm, precise. Your Honor, he said, we have compiled financial records, digital logs, text messages, emails, and forensic proof that the defendant knowingly accessed Mr. Stevens' personal savings account using credentials obtained during a shared trip. He passed over the folder. Inside it, everything. Screenshots, login timestamps, the file labeled Plan B, the Airbnb invoice with Derek's edits, the fake email used to request a password reset. It was airtight. The judge flipped through it in silence, then looked at Derek. Mr. Harris, would you like to respond? His lawyer stood. Your Honor, my client admits to accessing the account, but under the belief that it was shared family funds from the reunion. I scoffed. The judge raised a brow. A shared family fund in a private account labeled condo savings? No answer. My lawyer spoke again. We also have a document from the bank fraud department confirming Derek Harris transferred $21,300 to a separate checking account held solely in his name. Is this true, Mr. Harris? Derek's voice cracked. Yes, Your Honor. There it was. The courtroom didn't gasp. It didn't need to. His confession hung in the air like smoke. The judge nodded slowly. Based on the evidence and the defendant's admission, I am ruling in favor of the plaintiff. Mr. Harris is hereby ordered to pay full restitution, including legal fees, totaling $24,800. Additionally, this matter will be referred to the district attorney for consideration of criminal charges. I felt something uncoil in my chest, like a spring that had been pulled too tight. I didn't smile, didn't gloat, just breathed. Because justice felt like oxygen. A week later, I signed the paperwork. My realtor slid the keys across the table. Congratulations, Marcus. It's all yours. My first condo. Modest. 2 bedrooms. City view. A balcony barely big enough for 1 chair, but it was mine. Every tile, every chipped wall, every creaky cupboard. Paid for, earned, and protected. No one could take it from me this time. That night, I stood on the balcony alone. Held up a glass of cheap sparkling water. To survival. To truth. To letting go of what doesn't clap when you win. Jesse showed up later with a pizza. We ate it on the floor, no furniture yet. You did it, bro, he said. I nodded. I didn't just win a case, I told him. I won me back. He raised his slice in salute, then asked, You think you'll ever forgive them? I stared at the empty room. The echo of silence. Maybe one day, I said. But not today. Today, I just want to hear my own name in my own space. And for the first time in years, that was enough. What would you do if your own family drained your savings? Share this and let others weigh in. And don't forget to subscribe.